I'm gonna go ahead and start off by taping this section here. This is gonna be my test panel, so I'm gonna tape it so I don't mess anything up here, and I'll be able to put some fiberglass on top of the tape, and when I'm done I can just either take the tape off and leave this section on. I did hear that if you use transmission oil on top of the tape, it kind of creates a surface, like an oily surface, for you to be able to rip the fiberglass mold off once you're done. So I'm gonna go ahead and try that. I got the fiberglass done, starting to dry. We'll see how it comes out. It's pretty much getting the shell. Once I get the section out, I'll probably trim it and start building some from the back. This is the broken one that I kind of shaped with tape for now. Try to mimic it as close as possible. Got my strips cut, some little squares. Now I'm gonna go ahead and put the resin on there. 1 ounce, 10 drops. Here it is now that it's somewhat dry. I went ahead and trimmed this one so I can, hopefully tomorrow, I can come around the corner here and make these little bends here. Mainly this one. This one's not too bad. I think if I build it up from the inside, it'll be just as thick as this one. So just this one, so I can have this little pocket here so I can hide it. They are. Sanded them down, shaped them a little bit. I feel like they came out okay. Seems like they fit good. I still need to clean some of the stuff inside. I don't know how good I can get it. But overall, I am extremely happy. This one is the one that was broken. This is the original one that came out of that. The bondo is done. Waiting for it to cure. Put it on as smooth as I could, so it could level out and get into the holes that were low. So I got the plastics for the little trim pieces installed on both sides. Or not installed, but just placed in place to see the fitment. That's the original one. So you can see it looks like it fits okay. You know, there's still a little bit of a gap in the back, which, you know, doesn't really bother me. The front's nice and snug. Everything looks good. Here's the one that was broken. I still have to shape it some, but overall I think it looks good. I think it'll pass. So I went ahead and committed, put a hole through it and screwed it in just to see how it's gonna fit. And it fits good. I mean, it's not perfect by any means, but it's good enough for me. Here's the other one installed. I think that one probably fits a little bit better because it actually had a mold. This one I had to make it, so it doesn't quite fit perfect, but I still need to do a little shaping for it to look proper. Here is the textured pieces. Probably getting a little ahead of myself, but I'm breaking down the seats. I want to get some seat covers for them. I have a few options that I'm thinking of. Hopefully I'll order it within the next day or so. But here's the seat. Found this little sugar bear teddy bear in it. Looks like these are not the original seats to the car. The car was blue color, and everything inside was blue, so I don't see why it would be this avocado green inside. So I'm thinking that these seats came from a different car, but it doesn't matter. I got new foam, which I already got. Just need the seat covers for it. But I'm trying to break it down so I can see if I need to paint anything. I would like to. That way everything's nice and clean. Check everything inside, make sure everything works. And I'll probably get new plastics. For now, I'll probably just paint them with a plastic paint. That way it's, you know, it just doesn't look like this. and then install the new seat covers and kind of go from there. So I'm finished taking this thing apart, get it prepped, cleaned, and ready. I got the seat covers off. I got the seat cushions off as well. Everything in the upper stuff looks pretty good. The bottom is the one that gets the most use, so there's some wear and tear. I'm debating to see if I should reuse this base. Looks like it's been repaired before. It has a few cracks in it. So this is where the backrest is, and I'm guessing with all the weight and stuff, people just lean or push back on it and creates a crack. So looks like it's been fixed, and it looks like it didn't work, so I don't want to go through all that work again and have to do this later on. So I'm gonna do some research. You know, you can also see some repairs in the bottom as well. So I think the best thing to do for time's sake would be to see if I can find a replacement. And if not, then maybe having to fix it. But if I fix it, I'll probably put some reinforcements in the inside. That way it doesn't rip again. And I'm not sure why the bottom would fail. So we'll see. I'm gonna take the other one apart as well. I probably won't show it on video, but just want to see if the bottom base is good. If not, so I can order two if I can find them. So I couldn't find any seats. You know, I just needed the bottom portion of it, and I couldn't find any without buying the entire seat. And even if you were to find one, I'm pretty sure that this is a common problem, all the cracks. So I just went ahead and fixed it the best that I could. So I fixed all the cracks, and what I'm planning to do is I made these brackets, and they're gonna go on the inside like this. So it's gonna support the back, you know, because they were cracking right here. So it's gonna grab onto the front here. I'll put two, one on each side. I already made all four. And I got some square tube, and I kind of cut it, and I bended it to match the angle. So I'm gonna have one here, same thing for the other seat. This seat was in really bad shape. I had to fix some of the springs. It was missing this little clip, you know, these little metal clips on here. So I put some wire on there, hopefully that holds. Then I put zip ties all the way around. I had to squeeze these back, kind of rework them. That way it had that nice little shape, because it was like flat, completely flat. Versus this one, this is a passenger. It has, you know, that nice little a loop that goes back up. That one did not have it, so I had to rebend it. And it still has a little bit of a boat here that we'll have to fix. But I'm hoping that, you know, it works good. I'm not going to be driving the car cross country or anything, but I do want to be somewhat comfortable. These seats are not very comfortable at all, but at least they'll take shape. Got the new foam. I got an upgraded foam. Hopefully I'll make it a little bit more comfortable. Fixed all the cracks. That one was not as bad as this one. This one was the worst one. I had to fix their welds and stuff too, so I'm gonna go ahead and weld those brackets on there and let you see what it looks like with them. Got my seat fixed. I went ahead and bought some of this cotton insulation. It's I don't remember the brand, but it's not itchy or anything. It's what it had originally, maybe a little bit thinner for the side. So I went ahead and I took that off, traced it on a new piece, and put it on. I glued it on there with some glue that I used for the headliner. Went ahead and bought some vinyl from Walmart to kind of put as a burlap, and the seat, original seat didn't have it. I just don't want the springs digging into the new foam, so I'm gonna go ahead and put it on there. It won't hurt anything. I think for the 2 yards it was like 14 bucks. So I'm gonna go ahead and tighten this down so I can get the foam installed and then put the seat covers on. Here's the seat foam that I'm gonna be installing, or trying to. I believe both of them are exactly the same, so there's not a left and a right. I got these from CJ Pony Parts. I got everything ready. I marked where those wires are at, so I can poke through with the hog rings and attach it to it. So let's go ahead and give this a try and see how they look. Okay, so I got the seat foam installed. Now I am getting ready to get the seat cover on. But before that, this seat here, which is the original one, right here, it had these the fabric there to kind of, I'm guessing, to make the transition. So I'm gonna do the same thing. I already got some glue on there. I was gonna go inside and then flip it over, but I don't want to mess with the size of this section here. I mean, I guess it wouldn't hurt to have it a little bit bigger, but I don't want to have problems putting the seat covers on. So I went ahead and marked where I think it's going to go. It should have a seam there from the upholstery, and you won't really feel where it is. So I'll take a look at the cover real quick before I glue it down, and then kind of go from there. Okay, so I'm test fitting the seat cover on there. Here's that seam I was talking about, and it looks like it's gonna be right on there once I get it, in its spot. So I don't think it's gonna be a problem. We'll have a nice little transition here instead of just being, just a gap here. So it's kind of deep. So I didn't want to feel that. So that's why I went ahead and I figured that's probably why they did it from factory. And I'll go ahead and mimic that as well. So I'm just gonna do the other side, and then try to put this back in the sun, get some of the wrinkles out, and see if I can put it on. All right, so here we are trying to put the cover in. There is a little pocket up here, and I'm guessing it goes right down there to make this tight. Usually on the original one it has an emblem, but I'm not gonna transfer that. And then you have these here for these, took these out of the original seat cover. They slide in there on each side, and then you put the hog rings in the wire that's in the foam. So I still have a little bit to go, and then I think I'm gonna try to hog ring a few and see what it looks like. Well, after a lot of struggle, I finally got the top down. It still has a few wrinkles, so I put it in the bag with some, I put a little bit of water in there and then kind of drained it out. I'm gonna see, I don't have a steamer yet. I did order one, so hopefully this will straighten out some of the wrinkles. It's not bad, but it's not the way I want it. So after I let it sit here for a little bit, I'll let you see what that looks like. I have the other one, the bottom in the sun as well, trying to get that a little bit more pliable. Here's the bottom to it. So I'm gonna go ahead and put the vinyl on here. I'm thinking about putting it over the front section of the spring here, and just because I don't want the new foam to tear because of it. Here it is with the vinyl already on there. I just need to put the hog rings, maybe do a little bit of trimming here in the back, but you get the idea. This is pretty much what foam's gonna sit on. Here's the foam installed. Sits on there pretty good. I wish I would have checked the seat a little bit earlier. It has a rip in here. I didn't even notice it because it was so close. But it's probably too late to say anything about it, so I'm stuck with it now. This gap here seems a little bit wide compared to the top half of the seat. So I don't know if it's because I reshaped the spring that was underneath here. We'll see. Hopefully it doesn't affect anything on it. So now I'm gonna take some hog rings and kind of secure it to the actual frame, and then I'll go ahead and put the cover on there and see what it looks like. Okay, so here's the bottom seat cover. It actually came out really good. The bottom is definitely easier than the top, simply because you can turn this inside out and put the hog rings like you saw me do. So on the top, it's a little bit different because it has this still wet, but it has this metal plate back here, and you can't fold it in half because you'll never be able to fold this back over, or at least I couldn't. And I was afraid to tear it, so I had to turn only this section here back enough to where I could reach my hand up in here and put some on there. So if you can see, it looks like this should be down a little bit more, but there's no way to get back there to get the hog rings on. So these are some of the wrinkles that I was talking about. I'll still play around with it. That's definitely a lot harder to do than this, but overall it's really not that bad if you wanted to do it yourself. So hopefully it'll turn out better once it's installed in the car. But either way, I'm happy the way it looks. This is definitely a lot more cushiony than the other one. You can kind of tell that it's gonna be a comfy ride. So looking forward to riding in it and see what it feels like. Here's a look at the other seat that we're getting ready to do, the new foam. Clean it up a little bit and see what it looks like. I'm hoping that this seat will go a little bit easier than the last one. The first one's always the ugliest and the hardest because you have no idea how everything's gonna go. I have a better idea and understanding of how it works now. So hopefully this one will go a little bit smoother than the other one. I'm gonna check for any damage. The other one did have a few little things that I had to fix. Hopefully this one does not. I'm hoping it doesn't, since it's the passenger side, and usually that doesn't get the abuse that the driver side seat gets. They get the new foam just like the other one from TMI. Too much information. And same foam and everything. This is the upgraded foam. They sell two. One, it's a direct replacement, so they say. And this one you can use with the same style seat cover, so it doesn't change the shape on it at all. But it's supposed to be a little bit better quality foam, and it gives you a better comfy seat. So we'll test them out later. But for now, I want to get this off, check everything. Oh, another thing, this is what I was referring to, you know, the metal kind of going through the seat foam. So I know I didn't do it on the other one. I may have to uncover it and try to fix it. I don't know. I may just leave it like that. The main area is right here, so I don't want that poking through. Maybe we'll see. We'll see how this one goes. If it really bothers me, then I'll take it off and redo it and make it look right. So once I get the steam machine, I'm gonna try to steam the seat. If the wrinkles don't come out, I'll probably take it off and redo it. So let's try to do this one. This is definitely the harder one. The bottom is a lot easier. And kind of go from there. Everything looks pretty good. No cracks. The other one had a crack on one of the sides, so I put a patch on there and I welded the crack. This side looks pretty good as well. I don't see anything major. No rips or cracks on the springs. Everything looks good. I don't think I'm gonna repaint it. I thought about it, but you have some covers that go here that cover this metal part, so I'll just leave it. Got everything cleaned up. Even on the inside, I didn't want any of that foam, that loose foam, to stay in there, and you know, it has that old foamy smell. So this stuff here is okay because it was stuck on there. It doesn't bother me, you know, the stuff that's on the springs. But everything is clean. Everything looks good. I think it's ready for the vinyl, and then the foam, and then we'll see how that. I have a plan. Hopefully it comes together. I'm gonna try to turn it inside out again. The hardest part, you know, like I was saying before, is this part here. So the seat cover and the foam just kind of slides in here. It doesn't just sit on the top, and this is what makes it hard. I just don't see how I can fold it without ripping any of the seams. But I got the heat gun. I'm gonna try it one more time. If not, I'm gonna do the same thing that I did on the other one. So you know, I know that works. It's just a pain. But let's go ahead and get started. Got my vinyl cut, but before I hog ring it to the frame, I am going to stick this insulation on the sides, kind of like I did the other side. Here's what I got. This Frost King. It's not itchy, and it worked pretty good on the other one. Here is the original. It's a little bit thinner, but maybe it's because it's so old, you know, it's been kind of sat on for years. So I'm gonna go ahead and put this. I got this on Amazon, so I'm sure if you just type in Frost King cotton insulation, it'll pop up. I think it was like $9, $10, something like that. So I'm gonna go ahead and trace it, cut 2 pieces, glue it on here, and then test fit the foam. I got the sides done. Got the cover sitting in the sun. So probably won't film me trying to put it on, and you know, you don't need to see all that struggling and sweating and name calling. So I'll just let you know how it goes. Worst case scenario, I'll just go back to the way I did it originally. I am putting some seat warmers on here. I went ahead and put it on the bottom. I forgot to put it on the top on the other one, so I'm gonna see if I can at least remove the bottom half, slide it in there. It just has like some tape in the back, double-sided tape. So we'll see. I mean, worst case, it'll just be disconnected, but it would be nice to get a seat warmer in there, you know, like for the few days of winter that we get down here. But it's there. I'd rather have it and not need it than need it and not have it. So I'm gonna go ahead and try to put the cover on now, and hopefully it goes well. All right, guys, so here's the second one I did. Wanted to compare it to the first one I did. So you can see it has a lot more wrinkles. So I am going to open it up again and redo a few things. This one came out a lot better. Still has a few wrinkles, but I think they're gonna come off with the steamer, like these here. I was not able to do it like I thought I was going to. There's just no way to fold this over because the listing wire is just so thick and stiff. It's not gonna work. So I went ahead and just slid it over, and then I reached back as far back as I could, and I put a couple staples and then worked my way down. I think the trick to not having wrinkles is putting a lot more than what you're gonna think you need of the hog rings. Here you can kind of see where I put them. I put one there, one there, and then one there. Here I kind of did like every inch or so to kind of get a nice little line. So I'm gonna put more on there, and I need to put that heat pad on there too. I think that's why this one's a little bit more fuller, it's a little tighter, so I think that actually helps with the wrinkles. As far as fitment in the bottom, it's almost about the same. I think this one fits a little bit better. Not sure why. So I'll try to get this fixed real quick, but I'm really happy the way this came out. So here we are with the rear seat, getting ready to do it. I don't know the condition of the foam. It seems to be good, just old. I didn't buy the new foam for the back because I'm pretty sure hardly anybody sat in the back seat compared to the front two seats. The one that gets the most use is the driver's seat. So I figured this would be okay. If I have to find some foam padding, a thin foam padding to go on the top, it's probably better. So I'll just do that. It seems to be, I like to start with the more complicated things first, kind of get it out of the way. I should probably start with the easier part, which is, you know, the backrest. But I'll go ahead and start with this and see what it entails. Hopefully it's not that difficult. It's just pretty straightforward. One thing I do want to do is clean out this old foam. It has, you know, if you have one of these cars, it has a certain smell. And I think most of it is in this foam. So I'm gonna clean it with that steamer that I got. I'm gonna put some baking soda, clean it again, let it sit out, air out for a day or so, and then install the cover. So right now I'm just gonna take the cover off, let it air out, and then kind of go from there and see if I have to do any repairs. here's a better look at the seat foam. It looks to be all original. It's funny the way they kind of put this in the middle here. I may add a little bit more padding in here to make it a little bit more, I don't know, rounded maybe. Maybe even here, it's kind of flat here. Definitely want to put some here so it doesn't get any of that waviness that I did on the front seats. The foam, I mean, it's not terrible, but it's not great either. It just doesn't look as good as the front ones, you know, because they're old. So I'm gonna go ahead and finish taking some of the hog rings out so I can take the foam completely out of the frame. And like I said, clean that, make it smell a little bit better because it has that old car smell. Here is the frame. I'll probably paint it since I'm gonna be waiting on the foam anyway. Get a wire brush or something, just kind of clean it up. Doesn't have to be great, just a little bit on there to get some of this it's like flaky rust off. I don't know if I'm gonna keep this mesh sheet on there. Probably. I'm probably also going to put on the vinyl that I got just for extra protection. I think this stuff's doing pretty good, but it has like some wires going through here, so I'm sure, you know, it helps. And it also has this stuff all the way around. Looks like some kind of a rope, maybe to tie in to the back from your foam. So I'm thinking I'm gonna leave it. I'm still gonna put some layers of vinyl. I'm hoping that the vinyl will kind of separate the old foam from the outside of the car and keeping the smell kind of, if it does smell a little bit, keep it in between the seat cover. So I already went ahead and cut a little piece that went here. And that's about it. The seat itself, I need to get some kind of a cloth and maybe stick some new stuff in there. It looks like it was kind of stuck together like that. Put some glue on there. The stuff around, I don't know. I mean, I may leave it, may not. It doesn't really bother me. So we'll figure something out. The seat cover is removed. The back seems to be in really good shape. Very little use, like I thought. I may add a little bit of foam here, or maybe just leave it alone. It just depends how the cover looks whenever I install it. So I'm not gonna put any seat warmers back here or anything. I don't think anybody's gonna sit back there. Maybe my nephew or something. But the back looks good. I have some baking soda in it to kind of get the smell out. I'm gonna put some in the front, and I'm just gonna let it sit for a few days. Well, it's been a few days. This is what I've done so far. Not much. Took the rust off of the edges and put some rust encapsulator. I'm probably gonna just leave it like this. It's not really that important for it to look, you know, 100% new. Just as long as it doesn't have a lot of that flakiness it had. The foam pieces have been sitting with baking soda for, I don't know, 4 days or so. They smell a lot better. You can kind of smell a little bit on there, but it's not bad. I much rather it smell like this than what it did before. The backrest, I'm probably gonna leave alone. I don't think I'm gonna paint it. I'm gonna clean some of this stuff off, maybe put some new stuff on there. Steam it to make the foam a little bit more dense, and then see what I can do to get some of this upholstery done. I did want to put the carpet in today so I can put some of the seats back in, but it's raining, and I'm just gonna do this for now and just wait for the sun to come out, which I don't think is gonna be out for a couple of days. So we'll just do this for now and keep ourselves busy with the seats. Here's the foam after it's been steamed and cleaned. you can't tell a difference. It feels a lot better. It kind of swelled it up a little bit. It looks like it's gonna be a lot more comfortable as well. Did both sides, front and back. Went ahead and put this on there. It had some kind of like some cheesecloth fabric. So I just put this on there to kind of mimic it. And I steamed everything. So everything's a lot more fluffy, I guess. I did get some foam to kind of probably put in here, but I don't think I'm gonna need it. Everything seems to be fine. I'm really happy the way it turned out. Got the vinyl in, nothing fancy. Got the foam in, getting ready to put the seat covers. Here's the seat covers. Packaging is really, really good. You know, there are some wrinkles, but that's to be expected where it was folded, the back piece. So now I need to figure out how this puzzle goes. So let's go ahead and put some of the wires in here and see if we can figure this thing out. Man, this section here is probably the hardest part, just because the frame and the wires that are in it, you can't really get the hog rings in there very good. So I went ahead and put some zip ties through here. I put some holes through there, and then kind of went through the little flap that it has, like this. I went through the wire back down just to kind of hold it in place, and then I'll just go back from the top half and put the hog rings on there. I figured the ones that are here are gonna be a little bit easier, but I just kind of wanted to put this back here in place and see how it's gonna look. All along here, I'm gonna have to put them hog rings. They're gonna be attached to this frame back here. Okay, so here is the seat finally. Oh my God, it is a pain in the rear. It's not exactly how I wanted it to be or to look, but I'm tired of messing with it, so I may just stretch it here and there, but I think I'm gonna leave it like that. Nobody's gonna sit in the back seat anyway. The problems that I was having is, since the frame is so flimsy compared to the front seats, it's really hard to get the hog rings in to attach to the back. So the zip ties was pretty much the easiest way to do it. This here wasn't too bad, and then I just had some problem with the cover. You know, I wish the crease will keep going all the way through, but I'm just being picky. It looks a lot better than the one that was on here before, so I'm not complaining. I just wish it was a little bit easier to do. The front seats, I mean, this thing here makes the front seats look like a cakewalk. There's a few little things that I don't really care for. You know, these are custom made, so they're not quite like the factory one. Here's a factory one. So there are a few little differences, not much. I was missing all the wires, so I had to remake some of those. And the attachment, it's just kind of weird the way they did it back in the day. The problem was on this section here, folding it down, you can kind of see like it kept wanting to go that way. And I straightened it out as best as I could, but I don't know if it's maybe the way they cut it. Everything just kind of wasn't really working the way I wanted it to. But it's there. All I have to do is just a backrest, and hopefully that's gonna be a lot easier. I'm assuming it will. Here it is, done. It was actually really, really easy to do. Thought about putting some more foam on there because I had a lot of extra material, but I decided to just wrap it the way it was. I still have to do some minor things like the brackets here, cut it out to put it in the car, but I'm not gonna do that until I actually get ready to install it, so I don't put a hole in the wrong side or too high or too low. So I'm just gonna wait on that. But came out good. I'm happy with it. Made some progress somewhat today. The seats are not fully installed. They're just kind of laying there. They look pretty good. Some of the wrinkles actually came out, so I think it's gonna look a little bit better once it's all finished. This is the problematic seat that I had. Got the carpet in. There's not really much to that. Just cut some holes for the bolts to go through for the seats, and that's about it. I used my old carpet as a template to mark where the shifter hole is going to go, the location. So I wanted to install the rear seat, and that's what my plan was, but I came across an issue. I'm trying to put this thing on. I need to put the like the little gasket or whatever, that little trim piece that goes on here. The problem that I'm having is that I can't install that until I fix the headliner again. Whenever I installed this, it was really tight. It looked really, really good. And, I did some research on the glue to use, and everyone recommended professional grade glue, which is really hard to find. I even went to an upholstery shop, and they said that they won't really sell it to just regular customers. You have to be some kind of have some kind of account for them to sell it. So I tried the aerosol, which a lot of people said not to. Some people have good success. I cleaned everything good, and the problem is not the glue not sticking to the actual metal, is sticking to the actual vinyl. So I'm gonna have to re-stretch it again. Some of it's still even sticky all the way around. The front as well is probably the worst one. It completely came off, so I need to clean the old glue on there. So I need to redo the headliner so I can do my rear panels, that cell panels, I believe is what they're called. So I can get this plastic done, so I can get the seat done, and so I can get the front seats installed as well. So it's just one thing after another. So that's what I have. I don't know what I'm gonna get to work on today. Then one thing I was noticing for the rear, you have these little nail looking things, these little pins. Well, I didn't even notice that there wasn't none on here, and it's a little bit too late to start welding stuff on there. So I need to figure out how to put the molding for the rear section of the car. The clips that I got, if I can find them, I think they come with screws, some screws with some kind of a coating on there. Some people say not to use that because it introduces water. I mean, it makes sense. You have a hole, so water's going to get in there and then start rusting it out. This car is never going to really see the rain, but I am going to wash it. So I'm thinking about using whatever I use to secure the glass on here to kind of hold the trim. I don't know. I need to do some more research on that. But anyway, this is what I have so far. It's looking pretty good. It actually looks like a car. And I need to get this done so I can install the front and rear glass and have this whole section just kind of sealed up so dust doesn't get in there, because it was pretty dusty. So I need to get to that fairly quick, because I don't want to be messing with dust in the carpet and stuff. It's just going to be a nightmare. So let's go ahead and at least get a little bit done before I get started on this. Hey guys, so I got the rear glass installed, and I think it came out pretty darn good. I have the same gap on both sides, or as close to it as possible. Same thing, top. Went ahead and marked where the clips go, make it easier from the trim. Those are the tips that I got before trying to get this done. And to do the glass, I got these from Harbor Freight. Wasn't too keen on getting them, but they were cheap enough. I didn't think they were gonna work, but they actually worked great. Had one on the inside, and I could pull down while I pull the rope around it. There's plenty of videos on how to kind of fish it through. I didn't realize that in the bottom it doesn't have a channel like here to put the rope through. The rope goes in the inside, of course, so it's just kind of sitting on top. So really you could push off in the back and you can see the window moving up and down. I haven't put any of the window caulking that goes on the outside yet because it's back ordered, so I'm waiting for it to come in. But it can sit here for a while, kind of stretch or shrink, whatever it needs to do, and then when I get in, I'll just make sure everything is nice and tight and put it in there. I also got this here tool, and I feel like it helped a lot. Don't know what it's called. I just bought it off of Amazon. I think it's a weather pick installer or something, puller or something like that. But you have to make sure it has that little ball at the end, so it's not like a regular pick. You don't want to put a hole through there. So between that and the rope, it was pretty easy. So now I'm gonna try to get the molding that goes here, and I got my strip caulk, butyl strips, whatever they're called, that I'm fixing to put in a trim around where the holes go so it doesn't leak. There's another guy on YouTube that did it like that, and instead of using the foam tape. So I'm gonna go ahead and trim this off and see if I can at least get this section done so I can install the glass.